So we have seen last time how the new creation, the new and marvelous creation, is governed by the law of perfection. Governed by the law of perfection. And he has described a few details also of that perfection. There is a light's mind. There is a light's life. There is a light's body, mind of light, life of light, body of light in that new creation. Now, mind of light means it is predominantly in the physical which is operating there. Body. Then of course light of life. Life itself full of light, luminous, splendid, and the physical body, the body of light, means light's body, body of light. Now, so this is what will happen when the new creation is materialized upon earth. In other words, here we have the concrete realization of the life divine, Sri Aurobindo magnum opus life divine, in this new creation. In this new creation, it is already there. Now, Sri Aurobindo will describe in a different manner in the life divine, but what actually it is, he has described in just a few sentences here. Solid, luminous, powerful sentences, completely. So what new life is there, what life divine is there, is the new creation. So when it speaks of the new and marvelous creation, it is that life divine which is getting materialized, getting realized upon earth. Now, in order that that happens, there are difficulties, there are problems. And he is now coming to the facts of present situation, the pragmatics of the whole thing, you see. You see, the whole tapasya of Ashwapati is a kind of a systematic progress from one stage to the other. It is not that he is jumping from one to the other straight away. He is kind of gradually climbing up, step by step to the topmost. We are seeing in this book itself, book 3, Canto 1, the yogi is pursuing the unmovable. Pursuing the unmovable. Why is he pursuing the unmovable? Because he sees that this creation is afflicted with death and falsehood and ignorance and all that kind of a thing. Our world. Now it is a world which perhaps at this stage, in this manner, Satchidananda is not in a position to transform, to handle, to take care of it. So there has to be something beyond Satchidananda which should come into play and change the situation in this creation here, in this mortal world here. So he is pursuing unmovable. What is that he doesn't know? He does not know. And it does, in that pursuit then, he meets the dynamic power of the Supreme himself. And he realizes that, yes, if things had to happen here, it is she alone who can do that. If things had to happen here, it is she alone who can do that. Now, it is not only that he is seeing her in the capacity of accomplishing what he has in mind. It is not only that. When he goes beyond Satchidananda, approaches the unknowable, sees the divine power herself, the omniscient goddess herself present there, then it is because of his approaching her in the identification of his with her, his complete surrender to her, that a new and marvelous creation arises. So you can see the first canto is the unknowable, the second canto is the adoration of the Divine Mother. He adores her, he worships her, surrenders to her, and it is a part of that surrender when he starts looking down, a look down here deep, then a sudden and marvelous creation arises. These are the kind of sequences which you have seen in the whole narrative of this particular aspect of the new creation coming up. The pursuit of the unknowable, going beyond the transcendental, beyond Satchidananda, surrendering himself to her, who is the Supreme Shakti, who can really bring out a new, that is what is new, which is not present even in Satchidananda, new and marvelous creation. New creation he has already therefore established in that self, and once that is done, then his approach is to pray to her. He has created that new world in the transcendent now, with mind of light, with life of light, with body of light. He has created that world. The whole world governed by the law of perfection, and now it has to come down here. So we have here, we can quickly run through some of the sequences here. 79.41. She is pursuing the unknowable, a pure existence, saved from thought and mood, consciousness of unshared immortality, existence, consciousness, bliss. That is Satchidananda. It dwelt aloof, it is bare, infinite. It is lying there aloof, you see. And then, in the next sentence, an immeasurable luminous secrecy. 79.42. An immeasurable luminous secrecy guarded by the veils of the unmanifest. It is out of that he has to pull out the whole thing. Guarded by the veils of the unmanifest. That is what he sees there already now. So he has penetrated into that. Then, once he has got that experience of the unknowable, we have here, he is kind of jubilant, happy. Oh soul, it is too early to rejoice. 80.3. Yes, we have discovered that. 80.3. Oh soul, it is too early to rejoice. He has discovered that thing and all that thing. No, that won't do. He said, what is the use of that? We have to see some things about here. It's too early. And then he goes on to 81.1. We are seeing the major steps of the whole thing. Even while he stood on being's naked edge, and all the passion and seeking of his soul faced their extinction in some featureless war, the presence he yearned for suddenly drew close. What he was longing for, the Divine Mother, the Goddess, the omniscient Goddess, she has come closer to him now. And he is saying, who is that presence? A being of wisdom, power and delight. 81.3. Yes, power and delight. She has drawn closer now to him. The presence he yearned for suddenly drew close. A being. What is the presence? What is the presence? A being of wisdom, power and delight. It is she now who is standing in front of us. She is coming out of the veil of the unmanifest. She's coming out of the veil of the unmanifest.
And she's manifested. And then suddenly she's manifested.
It was terrific, no? And then, when he saw that all, he of course worships her and all that. We are jumping to now 81.26. 81.26. Our self shall be one self with all through her. That is the experience of oneness, what we have been seeing. But oneness through her, that is important. Oneness through her, you see. It is she. We are all devotees of the mother. All the devotees of the mother are one through her. Otherwise, amongst us, there are conflicts and quarrels.
In them there is conflict.
So because of the oneness, you see, and then when he saw that, his spirit was caught in an intolerant flame. His spirit was caught in an intolerant flame. Finished. That's all. Finished. And then 82.8. A vast surrender was his only strength. That's all. That is all. You see, with all that thing, the surrender, with all the siddhi, yogic, tapasya, finally surrender to her. His soul was free and given to her alone. 82.12. His soul was free and given to her alone. Now, he has surrendered himself completely to her. And then 83.1, next page, first line, a mightier task remained than all he had done. You see, with all these accomplishments at his command, there is still a mightier task. So you see, after his complete surrender to her in this manner, comes into picture the mightier task. The mightier task is obviously the creation of the new world. Creation of the new world. So, the creation of the new world, a new and marvelous creation arose in a yogic sequence when he has gone beyond Satchidananda, chasing the unknowable, meeting the divine omniscient goddess herself, surrendering entirely himself to her, then the mightier task begins of creating a new world. So that is the whole sequence of his yogic achievements, accomplishments. A mightier task that happens when he has met the. So you can see the logical manner also in which Savitri developed. She even to repeat Savitri developed. The unknowable, the adoration of the Divine Mother, the mightier task, the creation of the new world. The whole thing. Now after the new creation of the world, then the conflict between what is now and what should be, he has to attend to that. Again, in this glory, your spiritual states, they are parallels and they are opposites. See, that is how it comes. He has come. So, how systematically, how scientifically the whole thing gets pursued. You see. A mighty, a downward look. You see. 85.1. Then suddenly there came a downward look. See, Ashwapati is now seeing that. As you can see, exploring his own depths, a living oneness widened at its core, living oneness widened at its core, and joined him to the unnumbered multitude. So it is in that context you see a new and marvelous creation rose 85.5. You and marvelous creation. He see down below, the oneness is there everywhere, and then out of that tremendous class, a new and marvelous creation arises. Now this oneness, just experience, we had the same experience in the case of Savitri, when she is pursuing her yoga. 130.38. Only some last annulment. Now it is the same thing, pursuing the unknowable. Last annulment. Savitri was told to annul herself totally, that only God be. Annihilation's very indefinable step. You see. A memory of being still was there, but she was still carrying the memory. We will come to this line, memory of being still was there. We come again to that. But before that, let us go to 132.17. 132.17. Her spirit saw the world as living God. Saw the world as living God. He saw the one and knew that all was He, and saw the one and knew that all was He. Now this to be read again in the context of a new and marvelous creation. Saw the world, living world, what? This one. To be seen again in the context of new and marvelous creation. She saw that. She would have annulled herself totally, but then she would have merged into the absolute, completely gone away. But then she is carrying a memory with her. Memory, 130.38, memory. A memory of being, and it is that memory of being which is holding her back, which is holding her back to earth. She has a work to do. How can she disappear? And she saw God, oneness of God everywhere. You were again. So she again gets clear. So these are all interconnected, you see.
Savitri has the same experience as Ashwati.
Ashwati?
Savitri has the same experience.
Yeah, well, Ashwati nutrition. But now the difference is he has created out of his yogic Siddhi. She has to get it manifested. That is the difference.
Yeah, so she manifested. He created.
She has done, he has done. Now to bring it down, that is her job.
Yeah.
So she sees everything from that angle now. She sees things from that angle. Actually, they're not exactly similar.
No, not exactly similar.
Because she, we have seen also in the case of Savitri Yoga, she is going inward into the soul and then she is climbing up. The Tantric Yoga and the Vedantic Yoga, as Shivandu calls it. Shivandu Yoga is the Vedantic Yoga of climbing up the spiritual ladder. That is Vedantic Yoga. And Tantric Yoga going inward and then realizing the possibilities from within, climbing up all the way to you. In fact, both these are aspects, Shivandu Yoga and the Mother's Yoga, of one Satchidananda. Sat part of it being handled by Shivandu. Consciousness part, Chit part of it being handled by the Mother. Consciousness force means Satchidananda. She has taken up the Satchidananda, the consciousness force part of it. He has taken the part of being and existence. And both of them then complement Sat Chit in Ananda. In Ananda. So the Tantric, that is consciousness force, and the Vedic of Sat, being existence. So they join together and then bring out the fulfillment in Ananda. So Ananda is there behind, but Here is the path of consciousness force. Here is the path of the existence. That is Shivandu's means. Shivandu, you can say, is going by consciousness, by Sat part of it. Mother is going by consciousness force part of it. The dynamics are different. Ultimately they are one. You can't make a separation between Sat and Chit. So it is the double fulfillment which has brought out in the whole the description here. Again, this glory is the spiritual states, light of light, mind of light, life of light, body of light, etc., all those things. Again, this glory is a spiritual state. They are parallels and yet they are opposites. Because the counterparts are there here. In this ignorant world, our mind is different, our life is different, our body physical is different. They are opposites have become here. They are parallel and yet they are opposite. Floated and swayed, eclipsed and shadow-like, as if a doubt made substance. Flickering, pain, this other scheme to past negations found. Now the construction of the sentence is like this one. They are parallels and they are opposites. Their parallels and their opposites is a qualification of spiritual states. Spiritual states, they are parallels and they are opposites. Floated and swayed. Eclipse and shadow. They are parallels and opposites. Floated and swayed is a subsidiary clause of the first sentence. Again, it is glory of spiritual states.
I don't understand this.
See, the sentence is like this. Again, this glory of spiritual states, eclipse and shadow-like, as if a doubt by substance, flickering, pale. Against this glory of spiritual states, this other scheme, two vast negations found. That is the main clause. Again, this glory of spiritual states, this other scheme, two vast negations found.
What are this opposite states?
Now, grammatical construction is again the glory of spiritual states, two vast negations found.
The negation is opposite of glory.
No, forget about negation the moment. Yeah, see, the grammatical sentence is these spiritual states, two vast negations found. Spiritual states, two vast negations found.
Against. That means the spiritual and the negations.
Yeah.
They are complementing each other.
Therefore, the parallels and opposites.
They are complementing.
Yeah. No, I mean they are there. You have got the mind of ignorance, you have got the mind of knowledge, the mind of life, you have got the body, physical, etc. like that.
So you have always an opposite of what exists.
Well, they are opposites also, they are opposing. They are resisting for the other thing to come. Our physical is not allowing the true physical to manifest.
They are the two you are speaking about?
Yes.
The two? What are these two opposites?
As I give an example, we have got mind of light, means light's mind, and then you have got this ignorant mind. They are the opposites.
Okay, but here we are speaking about that.
He is talking about that.
Okay, between the other and the other.
He has seen that the new creation with those perfections, in contrast to that new perfection, what do we have here?
Ignorance.
So therefore their parallels means their stands for states, spiritual states.
Yeah, they are parallel and yet parallel.
See, you have got this ignorant mind, you have got right mind. So they are opposites and parallel.
The opposite has to open up and vanish.
So their parallels and their opposites floated and straight. You see, this is one single clause.
Yeah.
This is one single clause, subsidiary clause.
Floated.
Their parallels and their opposites floated and straight.
Yeah, but he said too vast negation also found this other scheme.
Now he says, again this glorious spiritual stage, eclipsed and shadow-like as if doubt makes substance, flickering, pale. These states are eclipsed, they are shadow-like as if doubt made, by whom? By doubt. They have become so by what? By doubt. Means our way of looking at things. Substance, flickering, pale. As if a doubt made. They have become eclipsed, shadow-like, they have become parallels and opposites. By our doubt.
Yeah. Because we are doubt the supreme reality.
Yeah.
And therefore we create our own darkness.
Exactly, because that is how we see things. Yeah, doubt. These others came to vast negation, to vast, they are really formidable negations.
Yes, so both there are negation, both.
Yes. See, I mean, life at the moment is not true life, it is governed by death. It is not immortal life, it is a mortal life, it is subject to death. So that is the opposite, it's a vast negation.
Exactly,
This others came two vast negations for him.
This is amazing how he
Now this doubt makes substance. He is explaining it further. A world that knows not. That is what we are, living in the world of doubt. A world that knows not is inhabiting self. Labors to find is cause and need to be. Now the first, he says two vast negation. The first is a world that knows not the self. The world which is oblivious of the self. The materialist standpoint of the life divine. A world that knows not is inhabiting self, that is what we are, the materialist. Labors to find is cause and need to be. Why we are? Matter is not able to explain everything by itself. The materialism does not explain things like that. That is one negation. The second is a spirit ignorant of the world it made. A spirit ignorant of the world it made. Because it is not present dynamically here. So these are the, in fact, these are the two negations in the life divine. In the very opening chapters of the life divine. The two negations, the ascetics denial and materialist refusal. A spirit, or rather we have got here these two negations. These two negations are basically the description of the Cartesian dichotomy, spirit and matter. Descartes, what is spirit is not matter. What is matter, never mind. This is the Cartesian dichotomy which is very easy. This others came two vast negations found. A world that knows not. In fact, this is the summary of the Cartesian dichotomy. A world that knows not is inhabiting self. Labors to find its cause and need to be. A spirit ignorant of the world it made. Obscured the matter. Travestied the life. Struggled to emerge. To be free, to know and reign. Well, that is what we are at the moment. These were close tied in one disharmony. they are bound together still. You can't say two vast. They were close tied in one disharmony. Yet the divergent lines meet not at all. Although they were close tied, they are knotted together, yet they have not met each other. They have not met each other at all, you see. That is why, you see, their parallels and their opposites. Their parallels and opposites, you see. Three, now he is explaining why this has happened, what is the situation, how this has happened. Three powers govern its irrational scheme. How this works? What are the three powers? In the beginning, an unknowing force. The inconscient force which is working slowly up. In the beginning, an unknowing force. Means this is the evolutionary scheme. In the evolutionary scheme, the whole thing is starting from inconscient. In the beginning, an unknowing force. In the middle, an embodied, striving soul. That is what we are in the middle. In its end, a silent spirit denying life. Forget about this world, about this creation.
About what? Forget about what?
This world. Ascetic denial. A dull and infelicitous interlude unrolls its dubious truth to a questioning mind. So this is what happens to a questioning mind. When you are seeing our world, we see then that mind. This is our world, a world that goes down, that is our mind. And therefore this is an interlude. A dull and infelicitous interlude unrolls its dubious truth to a questioning mind, compelled with the ignorant power to play its part. Compelled by the ignorant power to play its part, its minds. It stands for mind. To play mind is part. Compelled with the ignorant power for mind to play mind's part. And to record her inconclusivity, her ignorant power. And to record her inconclusivity, the mystery of her inconscient plan, and the riddle of a being born from night by a marriage of necessity with chance. So he has pushed Greek philosophy also in it. It is necessary that they have to be there, but their marriage is by chance, you see. And the riddle of being born from night, how out of inconscience the divine soul is emerging, that is the riddle. Yeah. Metaphysically, the whole thing is a fact in one sentence. Ignorant power, that is the inconscient nature.
This is the Shakti, ignorant Shakti. Ignorant
Achit Shakti. Achit Shakti. He says ignorant.
Yes, sir. The ignorant power is her inconclusive theory.
When you ask the ignorant,
Controlled her.
Compared by the ignorant power, it is she who is driving Prakriti, lower nature, Prakriti, who is driving. Ignorant power to play its part, it is Prakriti who is pushing Purusha further.
Her, it's their power here.
Ignorant power is pushing, yeah. We are driven by ignorant power.
Shakti. Shakti, Shakti.
Achetana Shakti. This darkness hides our nobler destiny. Yeah.
There is in destiny, but we cannot see it.
Yeah.
It's in darkness.
Yeah. A chrysalis of a great and glorious truth is stifled with a winged marvel, is sheathed, you see, it is struggling to come out, burst open and fly. Chrysalis, lest from the prison of matter it escape, it does not want it to go away from matter and disappear. It has a role to play here in matter. Lest from the prison of matter it escape, and wasting its beauty and formless vast, merge into the unknowable. It does not want that thing to happen, go and disappear into the unknowable. The butterfly has come out, it does not want to go and disappear into the unknowable mystery. It has a part role to play in matter. A chrysalis of a great and glorious truth is stifled into being marvel, is sheet, lest from the prison of matter it escape, and wasting its beauty and formless vast, merge into the unknown mystery. You can easily disappear there. It does not want that thing to happen. Live unfulfilled, live unfulfilled. The world's miraculous fate. It does not want that thing to happen. It has a role to play. It has to fulfill itself in this world. As yet, thought only some high spirit's dream or a vexed illusion in man's toiling mind. Spirit's dream or an illusion in man's mind, that, what do you think? It's an illusion or a dream, that a new creation from the old shall arise. We have been dreaming. It's an illusion for us. That a new creation from the old shall rise. As long as it is a spirit's dream or man's toiling mind of man, it becomes a vexed illusion. That a new creation from the old shall rise, and knowledge inarticulate finds speech. It's a dream, it's an illusion. As yet, you see, and knowledge inarticulate finds its speech. Beauty suppressed bursts into paradise bloom, pleasure and pain dive into the absolute bliss. In verse, these are kind of elaboration of this sentence. Examples. Spirit's dream or man's illusion thinks that this is only a dream, an illusion. That a new creation from the old shall rise, that from this dead matter, living stuff will emerge. You see. Pleasure and pain, knowledge, etc., all that is seen. A tongueless oracle shall speak at loud. Again, the dream, that illusion continues. That a tongueless oracle shall speak at loud. It thinks that it speaks. He has not done yet it will speak correctly. The superconscious conscious growth on earth. Again, it's an illusion or dream of spirit. The eternal branches join the dance of time. This is still as yet thought. Only some high spirit's dream that this will happen. Now, in other words, this has to be real. This is negation. This is inverse. Spirit's dream is not ready to see the reality of the new possibility. Man's illusion is unable to remove this vexation which is there in him, that a new creation can come out of this. He is unable to see that possibility, you see. But now, all seem a very teeming vast of a deluded energy to a spectator self-absorbed and mute. Carelessly unmeaning, so he watched, regarding the bizarre procession of like one who waits for an unexpected end. That is what happens now. But now, all seem the very teeming vast, all those glorious things are there in the coin because of the spirit's dream, because of man's illusion, they seem vainly teeming vast. Those glories. Upheld by deluded energy, that new creation or whatever you are going to talk is a delusion of energy. A spectator, self-absorbed and mute, careless of the unmeaning, so he watched, regarding the bizarre procession, like one who waits for an expected thing. He saw a world that is for a world to be. He, of course, Ashwapati, in spite of all these things. So, there is a difference between the new world and the celestial city. Apart from the new world being brought down, or the celestial city being established here, the fact of the creation of a new world is something different. This pilgrim is seeing a celestial city. It is already there. Whereas here what Ashwapati has done is, he has created a new world. He has created a new city. It is not that he has seen the new city and he is trying to bring it down. He has created a new city. Now the problem is, the issue is how to bring down that new city here, that new creation here. So pilgrim's progress, we have already that existing new city there. The celestial city is there already. That is not true in the case of Ashwapati Savitri. This new world is a new creation. It is not something which is already existing. Now after having established that new world, from that new world now he is seeing this world. He saw a world that is
The present one.
that is our world.
The present
world.
Yeah.
Not a world. He saw a world that is from world to be. But that world to be is a world which has been created by him.
Means the world to be means the one now he becomes in the future.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, that he has not explained how.
No, but I mean to become Subramanian.
He saw a world that is our mortal world. He is seeing now from the point of view of that new world which he has newly created. It is a new world. It is not a world which has been already existing. You see. That is it. By yogic tapasya, he has created a new world. Now from that newly created world, he is seeing the mortal world. You see. Whereas, so there is a difference between pilgrim's progress and this line. The difference is the celestial city is already existing there. The primal temple, the glorious temple, is already existing there, and now you have to kind of build that new temple here. It is not like that. He is creating a new temple itself there first. He saw a world that is from a world to be there, a divine. Rather than saw, see, he is now imagining how to bring it down. Divine, probing, plumbing, finding out, far off upon the rim of consciousness, transient and frail, this little whirling globe, and on it left like a lost dreams of rainbow, a fragile poppy with a spirit's shell, his body gathered into mystic sleep. Now, his body gathered. Now, this is the mechanism which will give him the idea how to bring that world down. He gathered, his body gathered into mystic sleep, sushupti, pradnya, consciousness, sleep, sushupti or pradnya, consciousness. Means everything is kind of present there in a state form of wisdom. Everything is present here. Which is sleep in the sense that it is not manifest, it is not opened out. See, his body gathered into a mystic sleep. The foreign shape is seen, it, that body, is seen a mythic shape. That is exactly the experience which we had seen in the case of Savitri. Formless liberation came upon her. He saw a world that is from a world to be, his body gathered into mystic sleep, while his body gathered into sleep, into Prajna consciousness. Prajna consciousness, that is the apprehending consciousness of the divine. Apprehending consciousness of the divine. Supermind. When he gathered, apprehending consciousness, which sees states. It is not project, but it sees. A foreign shape is seen. So in that consciousness, his body itself looks something foreign to him.
His own body seems like
it means he is trying to find out the mechanism now by which that world can become here, can be brought down here. So he is kind of withdrawing himself totally into that Pratnya consciousness, into mystic sleep. And it is there he will get the answer.
So, what is it, the mystic sleep? You said? The mystic sleep, what is it?
Mystic sleep, Pratnya, Prajna.
Okay, but what is it? In English.
Sushupti, sleep, means it is a kind of a quiescence of wisdom.
What is it?
Apprehending consciousness consciousness.
Apprehending.
Yes, but because apprehended in French there is two meanings. So apprehended, take yours.
Apprehending and comprehending. These are the two. Comprehend means you try to get, by projecting yourself, something on the object. You try to comprehend an object, that this is a book. You are projecting yourself and recognizing it, that it is a book. That is comprehending. Apprehending is, the book itself is telling you that I am a book. The book itself is telling me that I am a book. The electron is telling me that I am an electron. Now with scientific method we comprehend what an electron is, do that, etc. and try to understand its properties, its behavior, its characteristics and things like that. That is comprehending. The Sanskrit terms are Sajnana and Vijnana. Sajnana, comprehending. You project yourself on the object and try to understand the object. This is Sajnana. What the object is telling you, that is apprehending. You catch it, seize it, apprehending. That is Vijnana. So these are the two aspects, Sajnana and Vijnana are the two faculties, two aspects of cognition by the supermind. Supermind possesses both of them simultaneously. Both of them simultaneously. Sajnana and Vijnana. So he is now withdrawing into that mystic sleep, waiting what it is, what will happen. This is a great yogic step which he is taking. After saying, well, he has created the world is governed by the law of perfection, but there is an opposition, there is a problem, there is an issue. Now how to tackle that issue, what to do with that? He is withdrawing into himself, into the consciousness of Vijnana, of mystic sleep. He is the mystic sleep. Mystic sleep is Prajna. The Sanskrit term is Prajna, sleep, Sushupti.
Mystic sleep is a condition.
Is Prajna. No, he is withdrawing, means that all the faculties are present there, but they are not opened out.
Left on.
They are not opened out. You see, there were three steps, Jagrata, Swapna and Prajna. So Sushupti, you see. And then beyond that, you see. Waking consciousness, that is what we are. Then behind that is Swapna, dream consciousness. That is what we are saying in Savitri. Savitri Yoga begins with dream consciousness. A dream disclosed to her the cosmic past. dream. So he is now gathering himself into this mystic sleep. His body gathered into mystic sleep. Now you see, it is not the soul or the other faculties, it is the very body which is gathering, which is important.
So he is waiting the supramental body.
Yes, the body itself is now, that is the most important thing. The physical self is experiencing the prajna consciousness and waiting for the next move. See, while he is in sleep, we will do this couple of lines again. His body gathered into mystic sleep. While he is in sleep, alien now seeing the dim far universe, because he is in sleep, so that new world, new creation looks too far away for him. Alien now seeing the dim far universe, self and eternity alone were true. Nothing, only blankness, so to say. Only blankness. Because he is in sleep. Then memory climbed to him from striving plane. He has withdrawn into that, but he is not allowed to withdraw like that. He is not kind of allowed to withdraw. Memory climbed to him from the striving plane, from the Lord creation. Yes, that memory is there in him. That's smriti. Memory is smriti. Sanskrit term is smriti. Then memory climbed to him from the striving plane, bringing a cry from one's cherished thing, and to the cry as to his own lost cause, he replied from the occult supreme. That memory is there, it has kind of awakened him, and it has brought a cry from this Lord. How can you sleep? What are we here for? What are you doing for us? You understand it? And to the cry as to his own lost call, a ray replied from the occult supreme. The response. Now a memory climb, this is important. This is what we have seen just now in the case of Savitri Yoga also, no? In Savitri Yoga. Let's go back. It's a very important parallel. 130.38. Only some last annulment now remained. Okay, alright. But Savitri was asked to annul herself totally, that only God be. She was told like that, you see. Now, when Ashoka is entering into prajna consciousness, as if he has completely forgotten everything, absolutely oblivious of everything around here. What remained only was self alone. See, he says, no, what remained was only self. He was so much absorbed in the sleep that it was only self and eternity. The whole creation, everything completely got out. It's a kind of an annulment. Now, in that case, a memory climbed. Suddenly something happens here. His contact, his relationship with his creation is never lost. That is exactly what happened in the case of Savitri. A memory of being still was there. Savitri was advised, told that she should annul herself totally, that only God be. Although she has come on that verse, still there is that memory. Yes, I am the incarnate power here. I can't disappear. I can't go out of existence. That memory is still there. She is told to annul, but she also remembers that she has taken a purposeful birth here. A memory climbed of being still over there and kept her separate from nothingness. She was in that, but still became not that. That is the saving grace. Otherwise, she would have lost her. She would have lost. That memory is a very important thing in both the cases. Then memory climbed to him from the striving plane, bringing a cry from some once loved cherished thing, and the cry, eyes to his own lost call, he replied from the occult supreme. For even there, the boundless oneness well. Yes, there, but that oneness is there everywhere. See, that is the basic experience of oneness everywhere. That oneness experience we already seen in the case of Savitri also, that oneness. Or even there, that boundless oneness was there. Yes, that dichotomy is there, but that oneness is not gone, you see. It can never go at all. So, the whole foundation of a new creation is this oneness. Yeah. Life divine, the basis of life divine is this oneness. This is not a dream, this is not a, as you say, delusion.
Yeah, and we cannot access it.
Yeah, you cannot. So, that oneness is the foundation. Now, in fact, in terms of metaphysics, this is the most important aspect of Sri Aurobindo's philosophy. Most important aspect of Sri Aurobindo. There is no dichotomy at all anywhere. That oneness is inherently present everywhere. You see. This how the sin came, how the adversary came, or evil arose, that is the Christian problem, you see. In India also, the same thing is Maya, illusion, same problem. Because this experience of oneness is missing in the integrality of spiritual attainment. That oneness is the important thing. So if there is one key word in the case of Sri Aurobindo's metaphysics, I will say it is this boundless oneness.
We should sometimes have the option just to experience it. Experience.
Yes. So how?
Yeah, she wondered. Yeah, there should be another option. There should be somehow, it should be granted to, yes.
You come out, I think we started with that, we will start again. Yes.
She wants an experience. She wants to experience.
You have experience?
Yeah, like when, just to because we are so much in that productions.
Yeah.
That there should be as a confirmation in the experience.
No, but this boundless oneness comes at a much advanced stage, you see. This experience of oneness comes at a much advanced stage. See, he has done the individual yoga, he has done the cosmic yoga, and then he is experiencing the oneness of the self. We have to go through a long way, yeah. We have to go long. We are still, we are not even kids.
Yeah, because if we have that oneness experience, then we can change things.
But oneness will come when? See, first you have to free yourself, your soul should be free of the lower nature.
Yeah, but that's clear.
You should be free, the spirit should be free of all these things. When you are free, then only you can start realizing the vastness of the self. Once you have realized the cosmic vastness, then there is a possibility of experiencing the oneness. It's not that simple at all. You have to go through all the stages. You have to do your individual sadhana. But I don't know whether we at our stage should go for that. Our main concern has to be all along, always, to discover your own psychic being. Discover your own psychic being. Once you have discovered your own psychic being, then you can approach the divine. Once you approach the divine, then you automatically see the oneness. Then you automatically see the oneness. Our path should be first discover the psychic being and go by that and see the divine through the psychic being. Once you start seeing the divine with the psychic being, then automatically the oneness is there. Because I identify now my psychic being with your psychic being, with your psychic being, with your psychic being. That is oneness through the divine.
Yeah, but to experience it and not just really know.
Because we are not realize our psychic being. We are still here. We are still stuck here. In divine. So if you have realized the psychic being, then the path is clear. That is the experience of oneness. So this is the foundation of Shaivanta's philosophy of metaphysics.
But the boundless oneness is also here, otherwise we could not exist. It is just hidden from our experience.
Boundless oneness is beyond spirit and matter. Now the materialist also sees the oneness through the angle from the point of view of matter.
It is here. It is here everywhere.
He sees oneness from the point of view of matter.